Hello friends, and welcome to Flosstube number 48. My name is Sarah. My channel is called Handmade by Sarah W, and I'm very happy to have you spending a little time with me today. Happy Easter. I hope everyone's had a wonderful weekend and enjoying this spring holiday and the nice weather. Hopefully it is where you're at. And maybe some spring stitching. I know I have, and I'm excited to share everything I've been working on with you for the past 2 weeks. So if you are new here, welcome to my channel. I primarily talk about cross stitch here, sometimes other crafts, and today it's all about the cross stitch, as usual. I love to talk about cross stitch. So if you like that too, you're in the right place. I hope you'll consider subscribing and sticking around if you see something that you like. And to everyone who is here returning, thank you so much. It means a lot to me. And I enjoy coming and chatting with you about my favorite subject. So what do I have in store for you today? So I have 2 stitch finishes. Nothing that I have fully finished, but you know, that's okay. If you want to see some fully finished things, I did do a huge finish day where I had 30 things to share, and I did a video a few weeks back. So you can find that on my channel if you want to see some finishes. So let's see, today I've got the 2 stitch finishes. I have 4 new starts, and I have 5 whips. So I'm excited to share those with you. I'll go ahead and start with a stitch finish. And so this is an animal cracker, and it's the chart Maggie May by Stacy Nash. And here is my finish of her. I am excited to get her fully finished, and I just think she's so cute. And I know a lot of people have been kind of switching up the colors, and so I did that too. And in the chart, she has kind of a yellow sweater with a gray dress, and I changed her to a pink sweater with a blue dress. And it just, stitching this, it just made me think this is exactly the type of little sweet outfit my little girl would have had on when she was younger. So I love the colors, and I can't wait to get her fully finished. I'm not scared. You know, I think a lot of people have expressed that they are kind of hard to finish. You know what? It'll turn out how it turns out. I'm just going to give it my best try, and I think it'll be okay. I'm pretty confident about it, so I'll report back and let you know how that goes. But yeah, this is her and her sweet little radish. I love radishes. Do you like radishes? I think they're so yummy. I think a lot of people don't like them, but I really like them. But I didn't really realize that I liked them until later in life, so definitely, well, I was not eating those as a child, but I do like them now. So this is my finish on her. I did it on an 18 count scrap piece that I had in Seraphim Old Stationery, I believe was the color. Let me look at my notes here though. Let's see. Yes, Old Stationery in 18 count. And I used some called for, some not. I want to say the blue of her dress was a Gentle Arts in the color Liberty, I think. And the light pink of her sweater was, it was in the chart. Can't remember it now though. I'm so sorry. If you are interested, let me know. But it's the light pink that's like in her ears that was called for in the chart. So that's what I used, and I love her. I think she's so cute. I'm ready to start my next one. So what should it be? I'm thinking of doing the frog. I think she's so cute. So maybe I'll do that next. Okay, so I have another one that you've never seen any stitching on this, because I started it after my last video and I finished it. These stitch up really fast, and I stitched it in just a couple of days. And so this is a Brenda Gervais, and it's called A Girl in Her Garden. And here is my finish. And like I said, this was a start and a finish. I love to stitch little bees that have that lazy daisy stitch for the wings. I think they're so precious. See if you can see them. It's something else I recently stitched had those. Oh, I think it was a Brenda Gervais, 'Tis Spring. I think it was that one. I think. It was something recently I did, but anyway, I love this. I think it's so cute, and I'm gonna finish it just how it shows in the chart. I have all my finishing supplies. In fact, I'll show you on the other side of this fabric, I actually also did a witch in her garden. And are there any more of these, or are these the only two? Do you know? Let me know if you know. But I think they're so cute. Okay, so there's the witch in her garden and then the girl in her garden. So I'll finish those as a drum. And if you can see on each side, on the left and right, once you turn it into like a tube to do the drum, they're gonna match up perfectly. You see the flowers at the top and at the bottom. So yeah, hopefully it all lines up good. But I'm excited because I've never finished a drum, and I have another one in my like stack to be finished in my box of shame or whatever. And so I'll probably do all three at the same time since I'm learning the new to me finish. So I'm excited. But yeah, these are stitched on a 20 count fiber on a whim in the color Hazelwood. And for the girl in her garden, I used all DMC. Oh, and let me tell you what I did too. Because I had ordered for the top, the Lady Dot Creates velveteen that I ordered. I think the color's called like Polar or Polar Eyes or something. So what I did, and actually my friend Michelle Lee Quilts, she suggested this, and I was like, genius, because it wasn't the called for velveteen. She suggested, well, why don't you pick your floss colors to match it? And so that's exactly what I did. So it's gonna match really good with the top. I love it. Yeah, and I used all DMC, and let me tell you, so do you see the straight stitches on the leaves? That is not in the chart. In fact, in the chart, there are two different greens in those leaves. And I thought, like looking at the two colors that I picked, they looked different, but once I got them stitched and it's on 20 count, it's little, you couldn't see enough of the two different colors for my taste. So I picked a lighter color, and I did like the veins in that because I really kind of wanted it to have that dimension. And so I think it turned out good. I like it. Okay, we'll move on to the new starts. Okay, so some friends and I decided to start a chart while they were all at a retreat, and I wasn't there, but this was a chart that came out at market, and we had been wanting to start it, so we went ahead and started it. And it's by Hands On Design, and it's called A Hair in My Garden. And this is my start on it. I'm not doing it on the called for fabric, but I am using all of the called for DMC colors. This is on a 14 count Zweigart in the color Vintage Taupe. So Kathy's doing this big, awesome produce line. And so there's the strawberry, which is this one. There is going to be a tomato and a pumpkin. I'm so excited to see those two and stitch them also. But this is the only one that's out. And so anyway, I'm really excited. I did want it to be kind of bigger. It's not gonna be quite as big as in the chart, but it's on 14 count. I'm using 2 strands. I think the coverage looks great, but it'll still be big, you know, by the time I get it finished. So I love it so much. Okay, and then another new start. Okay, same group of friends. we had decided to start something out of, you know, the cookbook that comes out at market. We all got it, and so we decided to start something out of there. And I had kind of picked out my top 3, and I still will stitch those as well, but because of what time of year we're in, I thought, I'm feeling summery, you know, spring, like bright colors, so I wanted to stitch something like that. And so what I picked was Berries by Robin Pickens, and here is my little start. I have completed 3 of the colors, both of the blues and the blueberries, and then that beautiful red. This is on a 16 count, and this, well, I'm not sure the color name. It was dyed by LFA Linens. It's a 16 count, but it was like an exclusive for an advent box from Tiger Lily, and so it's not a color that, you know, that they always have or anything. So anyway, I just thought it was really pretty for this, and I'm loving the coverage. I am using 2 strands, which isn't my favorite, but the coverage looks so beautiful. Like, sometimes I love a 1 strand on 16 count. It gives it that amazing prim look, but not for this one. I wanted that full coverage, that thick, full coverage. So that is that. Okay, and then, okay, I have another one. This was a new start. Do you remember last week how I told you that when I showed this, my blue biscornu, I said there's going to be another blue start that you'll see next time. Bella's visiting us, if you can hear her. I'm sure everyone else's kitties are going to be like, whoa, what is, what? Is there a cat in my house? Okay, so I started my blue stitch. Okay, now, oh gosh, I don't know if I'm gonna say this right because it's French. It's by Reflet de Soie, Entrelait Bleu. I don't know. So let me show you my progress. I got a lot done actually. Oh, it's so pretty. So I'm stitching this on a 20 count fiber on a whim in the color Moonstone, and I am using all of the called for DMC colors. Now, let me show you about this, okay? When I bought it, okay, so I'm looking at the chart. Let me put this down so I can really show you. All right, so I'm looking and I'm like, well, this is the top, this is the bottom, or the front and the back. So I'm picturing like a biscornu, you stitch 2 different pieces, you know? So I get it in and I'm looking at the chart and I'm like, there's not 2 pieces. Like, I'm so confused. Well, then I realize, I hope you can see this. If you look close here, you have seams, 4 seams, okay? And so, without showing you the chart, this is the back. Okay, so I'm going to show you how this works. So you stitch it all. You stitch this whole part. Okay, this is all you stitch. This one big thing. You could frame that. It's beautiful like that. You could make one big pillow, and that whole thing is the front. But how this works is you stitch that whole thing, okay? And then, let me flip it around. Okay, you take the corners. So this is the very middle here, right? You take the corners and they're gonna go together like that. And then you're gonna sew those 4 seams. All right, this is not easy to show. I don't know why I thought it would be. So let's do this. Okay. So, you know, you sew all that together, and then you have your front and your back. Isn't that cool? So I'm really excited. I mean, beautiful colors. And I don't even have all the colors in. I've only been doing 2 colors. So let me just get out the other colors so I can show you here. Maybe without dropping. How pretty. So pretty. So I'm loving it. Loving. And yeah, I had a couple days where I stabbed myself with my needle, where I was in the car and had some time to stitch, and I wanted to start something new, and that was it. That was the one. And so it got a lot of dedicated stitching time, and I was really grateful for that. That was super fun. Okay, so next up, I have another new start. Okay, this was another market release. This is by Brenda Gervais. It's called A Daily Reminder. And I could not wait to get this started. I know you've probably seen this everywhere, okay? But finally, Sarah and I got to get ours started. My friend Sarah is on YouTube as Sarah Stitchery and Instagram as Stitchy Sarah Reads. We do videos together also, and we stitch a lot of things together. So we had been planning to start this together, and here's my start. It's so pretty. First of all, the fabric. I'm not using the called for. I'm using Picture This Plus. It's an 18 count, and the color is conifer. Conifer. And so let me tell you about the floss. So Mrs. Jones Stitches, if you know her, watch her, she does a lot of color and cotton conversions. And so she had done a color and cotton conversion for hers, and it's on, it looks like a dark brown fabric, and it's really beautiful, and it has these bright, pretty colors. Well, Sarah and I had seen it, and we were like, we should do that too. So we were going to order all the colors that she is using, but sadly, they're not available. So we just compromised, and we did a little color conversion ourselves, and we picked colors that we thought kind of looked similar to what she was using, because we really liked how hers was looking. So here are my colors. Sarah and I got all the same colors. So it's very similar to what she was doing, but also just because we couldn't get the same colors, we just kind of improvised. But anyway, beautiful color palette on this beautiful green fabric. I'm so loving it, and it's been really fun to stitch on together. So that is my start on A Daily Reminder. And I think that's it for the new starts. Yes, so now I'll just show you my whips, everything else I've been working on. And that'll be that. So, I had pulled out my birthday start this year, which is Ann Hughes. Okay, let me get it out here. And it is by Quaint Rose Needle Arts. And it's called Ann Hughes. And so I had started this for my birthday. A lot of people started it with me, which makes me super happy. And I've gotten to where I could just do, well, actually, because that's not where I started when I started back working on this. So here's my progress. Oh, I love it. All right, so when I picked this back up, because I hadn't worked on it in a little while, everything from this line up that wasn't finished, I went ahead and finished all of that. Then I got to the point where I was like, okay, well, I'm at house fill-in time. You know me, I had to do the house blue. There's a blue house right there. I had to do it. So I picked a blue in the chart that I was really feeling and loving, and that's the color I chose for the house. So I'm gonna finish up the house before I move to those amazing flower pots on the side. This is on an 18 count Seraphim in the color Old Stationery, and I'm using all of the called for colors. And they are really pretty. I love them. They're so pretty. So that's my progress. Aw, I can't wait to have it framed. It's so pretty. I love it. Okay, now I pulled out one that I haven't worked on in a while. I was inspired because Sarah was pulling hers out, so I said, all right, girl, I'll work on it too. And this is a chart that my sister had gotten me a while back, a couple years ago, and it's called Blackberry House by Flosstube. Well, there goes my light. It just turned off. By the way, I don't know if you caught this or not. I don't think anyone said anything, which is super kind. And I probably mess up all the time. Like, it would not surprise me. But I watched my video back and I called Plum Street Samplers Plum House. I don't know if I said Plum House Samplers or just Plum House, but I'm like, what am I doing? I was probably thinking about like a house, stitching a house, and I said that. So excuse me, but it's probably not the first or last time that I'll be messing up. I don't think my light's gonna come back. Sorry, that hasn't happened in a long time. Hopefully the lighting isn't too bad. Okay, so this is Blackberry House, and it's by Plum Street Samplers, not Plum House. When I heard that, I was like, what am I doing? All right, so this is it, and I'm stitching it on, gosh, oh no, I think it's a, oh wait, do I have it right here? Let me see. What is this? Oh, that's a whole different project. I don't think I have it right here, but anyway, I think it's vellum 16 count, I think. But I'm doing one strand. Picture this plus. Anyway, I think it looks really good. And I'm using almost all of the called for colors except for a couple DMCs, just where the color wasn't used very much or something. But everything else is called for. So what I worked on, filling this in. That's what I've been working on. It's a lot, but it's really pretty. It'll be worth it. I love this chart. It's so pretty. So that is that progress. I actually did get a lot done. I mean, you know, when you have that fill in that you can just, you know, focus on, like not looking at a chart, it's fun. I love that. Okay, what else do we have? Let's see. Okay, 3 more. So, Olga's Stocking. This is also by Plum Street. And I had shown this last time because I've been working on it. I'm trying to get it done. My friend Allie got hers done and we started them together. So, even though it's not fall, but like I'm still enjoying it. And I do want to get it done so I can display it this fall. So I'm glad that she kind of inspired me to get it back out and get it going because I do want to get it finished. So, gosh, I don't know what I did since last time. Maybe outlining this one, I think, and I really don't remember, but yeah, I'm just kind of working down in there, but here's the whole thing. That whole top is done. I'm just focusing on that bottom. It's a lot, those big pumpkins, but it'll be fine. I was trying to get them to where they were like I could just fill in. So that'll be my next move to get it to where it's like that. Oh, and I'm stitching this on an 18 count Fiber on a Whim in the color Sand. I think. Let me see if I wrote it down. Yep, Sand. And I'm using all the DMC colors on that. Okay. Oh, this one's fun. So this is by Stacy Nash, and it's called Birds of a Feather Needle Book. And stitching this with Sarah too. And we got the whole front done. So there is that. Oh, isn't that bird so cute? I just love it. So I went ahead and like got a tiny start on the back just because I wanted to go ahead and like get my place started so that it's easy to pick it up next time. So I'm not sure when I'll pick it back up, but I'm doing this on an 18 count Zweigart in platinum. Love that color. Such a good light neutral with no modeling. Sometimes you don't want the modeling, you know? And then last but not least, let's see what fabric this is. Okay, so this is by Blackbird and it's called Dear Daughter. And I am stitching this for my dear daughter. I started it for her birthday. And here is my progress. I love to color complete, so I completed another color since I did show it last, which is the color in the roof and in the butterflies. This is on an 18 count. Picture this plus in the color Oaken. So pretty. I really like it. It's such a sweet little chart. So that, my friends, is all I have to show you today. So I hope that you had a good 2 weeks since I saw you last, and that you've had a good weekend, and you know, we're going to be into summer before you know it. So it's already hot here. Like, we've had some days in the 90s and a lot of days in the 80s. So it's hot already. I don't think we'll be going backwards. So I think it's here now, which, you know, I'm excited, but I love when it starts to cool down. You know, I love the fall. So, but that's okay, because I really love summer. We swim a lot in the summer, and so that's really fun for me. And so I am looking forward to that, but not looking forward to just how hot it is if I'm not in the pool. All right, well, have a great couple of weeks till I see you again, and happy stitching. Bye.